congratulations for The Accountant 2, a movie that we've been waiting for a while. And can I start with Daniela, only because you're the newbie?
Yes.
What was it like to get to be a part of this world?
It was well, for me it was particularly special because I went to see the first one in 2016 in theaters and I really really enjoyed it. I thought it was so different and I thought Christian Wolf's character was so different, I can't remember if ever seeing a neurodivergent superhero almost in a sense. And so when this came around, when this audition came around, I did my best, but I was still largely in the dark about what this was all about and even who my character was. So when I later found out that like, oh, this entire story is like woven with this new character as the central theme, I was like totally blown away. I was like, what? I thought this was like some like supporting character. Like I had no idea. But so far, and we got to shoot it in Los Angeles, which I feel like never happens. Shout out to shooting more movies in LA. This has just been one of the most, especially coming off COVID and the strikes. Like I felt like I won the lottery. This was just the movie to land. It's been really wonderful.
And Cynthia, I mean, we have you again, but you're like the new Ray King.
Yeah, it feels good. I have a little more hair than JK. But yeah, I mean, I love that, at the end of the first movie, you see that, right? He essentially is sort of like setting her up to sort of be the one to get these phone calls, these tips to be able to solve these huge cases. And so it allows her to, be in a more elevated position in the Treasury Department. So she's deputy director, so this big boss lady. And unfortunately, she gets this tragic news that sort of sets her on the course of the movie and the plot. And so it was great to get to circle back to this. This is the first time I've ever played a character 8 years later. Like I've never sort of played the same character and had the chance to bring some of my own personal development and growth and events of the world, and feel like that's just kind of baked into who Mary Beth Medina is now. So yeah, I think, for us now that we've been out promoting the movie, I'm just excited to finally release it into the world and just sort of see what people think about it.
They will all enjoy it. I got to watch it already. And one thing that I really loved is that they make you female characters really badass. And even for you, Daniela, as Anais, who's like a killer that's contracted and dangerous, but yet we still find you like a badass.
Yeah. I think it was really fun to play this part. I think one because, playing villains is not something I ever thought would kind of, come into my zeitgeist, but it did. And but also more importantly, I think playing a woman who's also an anti-hero. I feel like it's not something you see terribly often. Or if they're badass, it's like they're kind of half-baked, and this character was like truly, truly like bad in every sense. So it was refreshing and cool to and I felt very privileged to I just want to, yeah, I'd love to just play villains. I'd be happy with that. Villains go all the way.
Yeah, you guys have more fun.
Yeah, villains have fun.
I think so. But this deputy director that you play, Cynthia, it was really comical to see her trying to figure out, Christian, and then Braxton comes, and then it's like, what did I get myself into?
Oh, very much. I mean, they challenge her in a way that she's really confronted with how does she define, what she's willing to do to put bad guys away, to, get to solve the puzzle, to get the answer, to see justice served. And it's like they keep moving her line and they're sort of like bending the law until, it might break at a certain point. And so I think it's really uncomfortable for her, but in all of that discomfort, there's a lot of humor, there's a lot of comedy. It's sort of like, it turns out that this sequel actually is hilarious, which I think a lot of people are going to be pleasantly surprised to find. So I end up being almost like this, not even a comedic foil, but I just am letting these guys sort of do their thing and I'm completely perplexed. It's like I don't even know, like 2 days ago I was in my bed comfortable and now somehow I'm like, in downtown LA, like up to no good with these, like, with Frick and Frack. So I think for her, it's like, I really loved when I read this script. I thought, oh, okay, there's a lot of really kind of funny interplay between her and the brothers, and it just felt different. It felt like a new way to kind of see her personality, different to the first movie.
And then we started with seeing her interacting more with Krishna. She has to do this look for the accountant, meets him, and I think it's funny how they have him always with these colorful sneakers. I kept looking at them. I was like, who takes someone serious in this serious world with colorful sneakers?
It's funny because like you say that, and I'm looking at my own sneakers, and I'm like, they could rival his for like, the big chunky comfortable sneaker. But I kind of love, I think one of the messages of the movie, and there are several that one can take away, but I love, like, one of my favorite lines that he has is "I'm just me." Like, this is who I am. Like, all of these characters rather are, they are just very much themselves, unapologetically so. And I love that. There's something, I think, when you watch a character and it's like, this is who I am. Like, I can't be any other way. Um, yeah, like when I heard that myself, when I saw it on screen, I thought, oh, that really moves me, because that's all we ever want, is just to be accepted as we are. Chunky sneakers and all.
And Daniela, what was it for you to play this role that grows so much, and its expansion and the level, the transition?
Yeah, I mean, without, giving anything away, when Gavin and I think sat down for the first time just to like talk about who she was, what does she do on the weekends? I mean, normally those are the kind of questions that I don't necessarily tend to ask myself before playing a part. Sometimes I don't find them helpful, but hang on.
Bless you.
Movie stars, they also sneeze.
Yeah.
Allergy season.
Those spring allergies.
I know, oh my gosh, especially in New York today, it's like crazy. Um, he asked me a lot of questions about this character, and then something that he said was, I want you to, yes, do what's on the page, but she can't be the T-1000. She can't just be fully devoid of all emotion. She pretty much is, but then we see that there's someone inside of her that isn't just a complete self-serving predator. So it was a little, I had to try to find the balance. But thankfully the story tells itself, and I think that playing an anti-hero is not all bad, right? Anti-hero is part bad and part good. And so I think that people will I think they will deeply resonate with her character in some ways.
As I watched, I continued asking myself, like, can you really walk the straight line when it comes to figuring out solving cases all the time in law enforcement and accounting? What's your take? Because these gentlemen love to use have these criminal tactics to find the solution.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because in a way, she's already a little bit compromised, if you want to say. Like, she gets these tips, she gets a call. Nobody in her department knows that she's able to, like, break these big cases because she has some help. She has a leg up. So I think already she's justified that to herself, because at the end of the day, she just wants to put those bad guys away. And it isn't a straight line. It's a very curvy line with a zig here and a zag there. And I think, perhaps what she tells herself at the beginning of the movie, how she justifies these things compared to where we find her at the end, that really is going to be her arc for the movie. And I think, like, it's an interesting question, right? It's like, for the greater good, if I have to kind of sort of work outside of the system, but ultimately I'm going to sort of be able to really, like, see justice done. can I be okay with that? I mean, that's the question I think she's continuously asking herself, probably even beyond, the movie that we see.
Thank you so much for your time and congratulations, Accountant. I love the film and seeing some
Thank you.
badass
Thank
female
you.
characters.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye bye.